I got my side up. Yeah, I got in. And I don't know, you was just there, and then all of a sudden, you're not. The StreamYard is ridiculous sometimes. Okay, I see it. It says device not connected. Not connected. Right. Okay, I see some. Oh, it just went away. Okay. How you doing? Yeah, I can. Let me see. No, I see your butt. Okay, there we go. Add. There we go. It just said. Okay, it says that you would need to connect your camera and your mic. It started and then it went off. I saw you coming on and then it happened and it went away. Then it's repeating what I'm saying every 3 minutes. All right, let me see something. That's why I don't really like StreamYard. Connections is never good. I get better replay with this on Zoom. Okay, it went away, Erzili. It went away, Erzili. You want to try and log back out and come back in? I didn't realize I was on mute all that time. I was asking you, would you want to log out and try to come back in?
Doesn't want to come on.
Oh, there it is. Oh, it dropped again.
Work.
Okay.
We can do it like that, or I could continue to try to get the camera on.
It doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can do.
Okay. Do you get a picture? Do you get a picture or anything?
Well, on your side, if you want, you can upload a picture. And see, I said that like 5 minutes ago, and it's just giving you what I said 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
So how can you hear me good?
I can definitely hear you. I'm going to load an avatar if I can. Ooh.
Oh, we can do it like this.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. Let me see if I can put a picture up there or something.
Yeah, I know. I need to get my yeah, I know. I need to get my I can turn my camera on, I guess. I'll turn my camera on.
Yeah, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You do too, even though I can't see you. But I know what you look like. It's just the listeners that probably don't know. Well, they know.
I don't know. Just pick the first picture I found. I don't know. Is that okay?
Let me see. Yeah, and that's exactly probably what your face expression is like right now, trying to fix the camera, right?
Exactly. All right, if we're gonna start. We can.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm hanging. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. We have I've been trying to get Mr. Erzili on Real Radio Talk since 2018. I never even realized that the time flew by so fast like that. I'm thinking that was like last year sometime, but yeah, we have Èrzili Danto on, and you might know her from the show when she was on with Tariq Nasheed, speaking about 1804, the Haitian Revolution, and also she was on Hidden Colors. I believe it was part 4, right? No, part 5.
Yeah,
I think it was part 5. Okay, right. And she's a human rights lawyer, a human rights advocate. She does a lot of work there in Haiti, a Free Haiti project that we'll talk about soon, and poetry. I love poetry. So when I see jazz poetry, I'm like, okay, we got to talk about that one. And of course, we'll talk about 1803, 1804, and maybe we can touch on the Vodun history edition, because I'm coming across a lot of people lately that leave the Christian world and they're starting to come in a more ancestral type of flow or whatever. So I guess for the ones that's listening that doesn't know anything about it or just been tabooed about it all their life, at least I know you can shed the clean light on it, the true meaning of voodoo and the true essence of it, not what TV spooks us out about. And then so and so much I could just say, but I want to give you a chance to say it as well. I don't want to read your whole bio and then you have nothing to tell us, right? But I guess you can give a brief description of yourself, and then we can go into 1803, 1804. Like some people think it started 1804, but I be trying to tell them it started 1803. It just happened in 1804. The beatdown happened. Am I correct?
Yes. Can you hear me, sister? Can you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you very good. Very good.
Okay, yes. So thank you so much for the invite. And we're having some technical difficulties, so your audience can't see me, but we are going to go forward.
So it's the other time when you have.
So yes, the Haiti Revolution did start. Obviously, it started in 1791 was when they had the Vodun ceremony. So it took them 13, almost 14 years to win. And it was not sort of like it was an actual revolution where people took up arms.
That's right.
You know, so that's what we have to understand, that it wasn't just like some revolt that happened overnight. No, this is over a decade of fighting. And we fought
Mm-hmm.
3 European powers: the French, the Spanish, the English.
Yes.
And at that time,
Mm-hmm.
they were the greatest superpowers
The
on the
British.
you know. So that's what we did. We fought the greatest
Right.
superpowers on the planet, and we beat them. I don't know if you can hear me any better. I put on some
Yes. Hear you very good now.
okay, so I put on some headphones,
Very.
and I just want to make sure that you do hear me. There is so much to say about the
Yes.
Haitian Revolution. I think that those who are new to it, I run something called the Free Haiti Movement, because even though we did win the revolution, within a couple of years, the European tribes had stopped their infighting and begun to destroy the revolution, and the people that had conducted that revolution. So that's why I run the Free Haiti Movement. And to tell your audience a little bit about me, I started out a long time ago. I've been a lawyer for over 30 years. I've been in this fight for my whole life. And every day it's trying to get to the new generation, because we fight from generation to the generation until we win. That's what we do. We are Black people. We are spiritual people. We are the people of the sun. And that means that there are certain things we won't do just for survival. Because if we were to do those things, we would lose our soul. And then what would be the point of the fight anyway? So unlike the Europeans, they have that. They have that. They can be as barbaric as they can, as they want to be. So it was another type of mindset that created the Haitian Revolution, a mindset that is very rare in this day and age. Obviously, all of you see I'm a female. In this day and age, under patriarchy, women are used as objects and sex receptacles and breeders. This is a very post-Abrahamic religion
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Patriotic system.
Yes. And you and I, sister, are the exception to those rules, and which means that we're going to be the lone voice in the wilderness. But we are the strongest voices in the wilderness because we replicate the biosphere's naturalness. So the Black woman's voice has been abused, exploited, and we are the history of rape.
Mm-hmm.
But we still stand, and we will continue to stand until the Black women's children are free to be as abundant as the universe, because that's what we are, a reflection of the universe. But there is a patriarchal mindset out here that hoards everything for a particular group of elites. And we're talking about that mindset has gone viral. It's metastasized. It's riding these European families and white supremacy, and some of them don't even know it. But those of us who are connected to the to spirit, connected to our DNA, we look beyond the physical appearances and we see collaborators and we see this principality and power that is out here to kill the Black woman. Because if you notice, I was watching the Demon Rats when they were being inaugurated most recently. And you notice, they put a little Black face of a little very talented, beautiful Black girl. Because they know they need the womb of the Black woman and to continue to rebirth themselves. And so they put that in front of us. Or they'll get a substitute Black woman who is an Asian woman.
Like Kamala or something?
Like Kamala, my dear. And try to sell it to the womb of the universe as the real thing. And so we who are the real thing must continue to stand in our space and try to transform this planet to what it was. And that's what I am. That's what I do. And there's a saying in Haitian Vodun that says "Guiné posé," which is that it's already done.
Guiné posé.
Guiné posé. Guiné posé. It's already done. Yes, posé. Guiné posé.
So after I say my prayers, I can say Guiné posé.
That's right. That means it's already done. Okay. The fact that you and I are here, it's already done. And believe me, they've had more than 2,000 years to destroy the Black woman.
And it didn't happen yet. Somehow we keep rising.
That's right. That's right. So Guiné posé. That's it. I've been a human rights lawyer for over, like I said, 30 years. I've been a lawyer for 30 years, but I've been a human rights lawyer for about 10 years of that time. I was an entertainment attorney. I'm a performance poet. And like you said, I run the Free Haiti Movement, the Haitian Lawyers Leadership Network, and something called the Èrzili Network. So Èrzili is a representative of the mother creator of the universe.
Okay. And if ones want to make a donation to the Free Haiti Project or the one you just mentioned with your name, how would they do it? They go to your website, straight to the website, and they can find it?
Yes. So with technology allows us to bypass all of the institutionalized destruction. You can find me Èrzili, that's you could see the name, EZILIDANTO.com. That's my website. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Sometimes the accents are not there, but just put Èrzili Dantò lawyer and you'll find it. Èrzili Dantò is actually the original Black Madonna. She is the
but I thought it was Èrzili Frida. Remember I was asking you about Èrzili Frida, and you was like, no, the Frida part got added on somewhere down the line, and Èrzili Frida is more like a whore name in a sense. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Well, then how did it get from Èrzili, which is the black mother and child, to Èrzili Danto, who is the whore who Jesus was supposed to have saved and said, "Don't throw stones at her." You know what I'm saying? It went from that to that. How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, listen, what you have to know is patriarchy, right? Mm-hmm. So patriarchy doing slavery, what did they do? They took the Black woman and they bred her. And the one that they elevated was the one closest to physical features as them.
Mm.
And so we have the fetish for the quadroon, octoroon, mixed race. Today they give them the name of Kardashian, Cardi B. They give them names. That's who they
Oh,
are.
okay. I got you. I got you. Mm.
So who created that?
Right.
You see, I would just to bring you back to reality of my life. I started out as an attorney during the 90s when I was representing Black males who had lost their way. And the first people that they attacked, the easiest people that
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
they made, they destroyed their own mothers. They never talked about the fathers who were gone. And then in their music, women were either hoes to be passed around or bitches to slap around and make sure they don't have babies that they have to pay child support for.
Mm.
You understand? And all those men, if you look, only a few of them have a dark-skinned wife. They have Freda.
Mm.
So
Okay, I see.
Freda? Who created Freda?
Mm-hmm. They did, right?
Let's
Because
put
Frida
it
was their
where.
little side girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, because like I said, they made the Black woman as far they made the hoe, right? Because who were they sleeping with?
Right.
And then they
Exactly.
passed her around, and destroyed her as much as they could. And so, if you and I are still standing here, it's because we are what we are.
Right.
And so yeah. So in Haitian Vodun, there's a lot of colonized thinking because
Exactly. And then it has a lot to do with ignorance too. Like some people, they don't want to kill their ignorance. They don't want to stop feeding it. So even if you do give them the real deal, they're so conditioned to the negative that they just stay there. They stay in that negative box, you know?
Yeah. And I have to say that I don't expect the masses to be the ones that are going to change the world.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
We have to be so far ahead of that. If you're looking to change the masses, then you're never going to get anywhere. The only person you have control over is you and whatever you give birth to. And that's enough, contrary to popular propaganda.
Right.
Because what's inside you is an army.
Mm-hmm.
When you
with all those eggs, right?
That's right. Imagine if men had what we have inside of us. I mean, the mythology these people would have created if they had what's inside of us.
I mean, if you think about it, yeah, they used us as breeders because they were aware that, oh, she's super fertile, you know? It takes their wife 10 years to have one, while the slave woman was having 15 already, you know?
That's
and
right.
And then when he finally did get his one baby from his one wife, from his white wife, he made her, the slave, breastfeed the baby.
That's right, because of the nutrients inside your body. And when they really wanted to, whose cells did they take? The eternal Henrietta Lakes.
Yes, exactly. I can never remember her name when I talk about her, but for real, that was like some real barbaric. Barbaric Frankenstein.
We have to remember who we are. Yeah. And why? Okay, now let's bring it to today. Why are they looking to push for the Black community to be the first one to take the vaccine?
They're doing it too.
And they're
Other women
doing
doing
it too
it.
because we have the most feeble-minded people calling themselves leaders.
You are not lying. Oh my goodness. It's sad. It's like they don't see it coming. They don't get it. They like 3D thinking all over.
They want to change your DNA. It's not their DNA they want to change. It's your DNA they want to change. Because they realize that they're a dying race. And as much as they have this music out here elevating these mixed race people and these phenotype, the more ambiguous phenotype Black woman, it's not working. Because real is real. Not to say that the tragic doesn't have their own issues, because they do. And that's
I know. My dad was, my dad was telling me about my sister.
Yeah, that's my sister. But there comes a point in time when we have to look out for the whole entire race.
Right. We have to be stewards of humanity. That's true. Mm-hmm.
And that's what Èrzili is. He's a representative of Asar. Historically, how did Èrzili Danto, which is the warrior mother, the archetype for womanhood and motherhood and warriorhood, land in Haiti? That's it. How did that come to Haiti? A lot of these Negroes, I spell Negro Knegrow. A lot of these.
Okay.
A lot of these.
I'm sorry.
Negroes are still running around.
Black people, we try to take words and we use words and it mean the same thing, but we can spell it a whole nother different way.
Yeah. We have to. We are the creators of the universe. We can change anything into something else. So, while the Negroes are still trying to prove that they are outwardly as civilized as the barbaric European, it was a woman queen in the Congo by the name of Nzinga, whose descendants were fighting the Portuguese for a long time, and they ended up in Haiti. And they continued that fight.
Okay.
And so in Haiti, the historical Èrzili Dantò, so Èrzili Dantò is the archetype for the warrior mother. The historical or Èrzili Dantò, the Black woman, unknown name, who
I know what you mean. The one that came from Africa on the slave ship.
Yes, that's right. She was a warrior descendant of Queen Nzinga.
Wow. So you were able to actually trace that all the way back to the
without a doubt. The language of the Vodun ceremony that began the Haitian Revolution, it was in King Congo, the language of the Congo. And
and a lot of warriors come out of Congo, like the Mau. So I could see that.
You see, and so why these Negroes are running around trying to say they're Egyptians. I'll take the Congo, the Sudan, any day.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's how.
Well, Sudan was Egypt at one point. Sudan was Egypt at one point.
That's right.
Sudan was Egypt at one point.
But as soon as they whiten it up, they whiten it up. They did a fit out on it. You see, once they did a fuera on it, it's like it's like shooting off the the nose of the Sphinx. That's the metaphor.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so
like
I leave
so angry to see
all of that alone, right? Go to where we were born, and we were born out of the warrior spirit of Queen Nzinga for this age, and the mumble or the priestess who rose up to begin the Haitian Revolution. Some people say her name is a particular thing. I'm pretty sure she was born in Africa. She was not born. She wasn't what they call a Creole, which is an African who was born in the Americas. African.
Speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where that, and the Haitian Revolution is the only revolution in world history that ever took enslaved people and made them the masters. So it's the only country created by formerly enslaved people, whereas the United States is created by the opposite. The U.S. is created by enslavers.
Right.
And so that's the David and Goliath struggle of the planet. And IT in the United States are the perfect example. Can you hear me correctly? Because I don't know.
Yes, very, very good.
All right. Any questions that you want to ask me specifically?
Yeah, Fatima. They say that Fatima. Let me get it. Islam brother said to me that it was Islam that won the Haitian Revolution. And I'm like, no, I think it was Ogun. So we're going back and forth because I'm standing on Ogun, he's standing on Islam. I'm like, brethren, they were in those swamps with those alligators rising up to ancestors. Islam ain't have nothing to do with that. It might have played a part in it, but that wasn't the foundation of it.
Yeah.
So, he went on to say, yes, it is. And I went on to say, no, it's not.
Yeah. And you are right. Okay. Haiti in 1790, the Africans went back to Mother Africa. They did not go back to some conquering religion of the European, of the Asiatics or the Abrahamic religions. Because
he's saying that they came on a slave ship as Islam. Because I want that question to him. I said, well, how could that be? Because Islam came thus after the fact. So if it came with them on the slave ship, then the timing don't add up. You know what I mean? The creation of Islam versus the creation of African spirituality, you compare it, it's easy to see which one went on the slave ship first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, no. Because somebody's mom, I think Bookman's mom, was supposed to be a Muslim. And that's why he had the book. The book was supposed to be a Quran. And I'm like, the book was a book of spells. He's telling me the book was the Quran.
Well, like I said, okay, the more, and this has a lot to do with the work that I do. The more we go out here and face the colonial narrative, the more people are coming to take over the Haitian Revolution as theirs. And they got to bring in their Abrahamic religion. But the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is, the Africans who were the amalgamated tribes who were enslaved and put on slave ship, some of them had been converted by war, through war, either by the Spanish, the Portuguese, or into different religions.
Right.
So there were in Haiti, all of them. There was those that were Muslim, those that were Catholic, those that were what's the other one? Jewish, right?
Presbyterian. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that comes much later. But one of the things, the first colonists to bring Africans to the New World were Spanish, if you remember.
Mhm.
And it was
Oh,
after.
see, I thought it was playwright.
No, the first colonists, okay, after like in 1492, after you know the story,
Christopher Columbus, yeah.
pedophile Christopher Columbus
Mhm.
landed in Haiti, and he put the first colony there. It was called Fort Navidad, and it was December 5th or 6th of 1492. The queen that was there, a black woman named Anakauna, her and her brothers fought against this, and they got rid of Fort Navidad, but they eventually did lose, and the island of Haiti was colonized by the Spanish. And what religion were the Spanish? Catholic.
Catholic.
When
Mhm.
the Pope, said that they can have slaves, the reason they did was they called them all infidel. And the first thing they
Right.
had to do to be enslaved in the New World was to be converted forcefully into Catholicism. So
Exactly.
all slaves in Haiti were baptized into Catholicism. And in 1790, and the warrior ones had to sneak out into the middle of the night and worship their own ancestors and their own native
Right.
spirituality. And
Mhm.
those people were Bookman, Cecile,
Mhm.
Fatima, all these names. Okay. The reason why they say that these people are
Islam.
Islam is because their names sound African, Muslim.
Right.
So that
Right.
they don't have any, but understand the fact is, in order to be enslaved in Haiti, in order to be in Haiti at that time in 1791, both the French and the Spanish, because they had divided the island, were Catholics.
That's right.
And the Pope
Mhm.
had given the Catholics, divided after the fall of Grenada in 1492. What is the fall of Grenada? It is when the Moors were defeated by the Southern Europeans. That was the fall of Grenada in southern France, which they call it the Iberian Peninsula. Remember, for 700 years, the Muslims had controlled France. The fall came in
Oh, right. True.
1492.
True.
Yes, the fall
Mhm.
came in 1492, the same year that Christopher Columbus got to Haiti with a Muslim showing him how to get there.
Oh, so this is where the propaganda came from. I got
Yeah.
it now. Mhm.
All right, so that's where it came from. But the bottom line is the Pope said that anyone that was enslaved had to be converted to Catholicism. So all the African slaves, no matter what they were, before they got to Haiti, were converted, whether they were voodooists, whether they were whatever.
A herbalist.
Okay. And it was
Right. A
illegal.
musician.
Yes, it was illegal to be anything else. So that's why the Haitian Revolution is so important. When they got together at the gathering that began the Haitian Revolution, it was an illegal gathering. Just like right now, they're trying to make, anytime we say something about their vaccines, it's like illegal, illegal.
I know.
It was an
Exactly.
illegal gathering. And in that illegal gathering, they were all about Mother Africa. Bookman was a Ungan priest, but they say that
Okay.
he was an Ungan priest. So how you could be an Ungan priest and a Muslim?
That's what I was going to ask you. You was reading my mind. I was going to say, well, then how could he have been both? There's no way with a conflict
like
with
I
each
said,
other.
you know,
It would have been pure
everybody is trying
conflict.
to take a piece of the Haitian Revolution as theirs, and the Abrahamic religions have to make as if, you know, they weren't, the Moors hadn't just got their butts kicked in the Iberian Peninsula and deported back to Africa. And actually, the first boatload of enslaved people in the Americas were Muslims that the Spanish were kicking out of and deporting out of Spain and France.
See, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course you might see a few names that were Muslims because they were deporting them out of their nation. The Portuguese, the Catholics, anyone who had fought against them and had conquered them for 700 years, they either killed you or deported you back to Africa. And a lot of them, the first boatload was deported to Haiti. But it was almost 300 years later. Okay, because that was 1492. The Haitian Revolution started in 1791, centuries later. Right? And the people who were there were the amalgamated tribes out of West Africa, or the Congo, all the way down to Angola, and the blacks, native blacks who were already in the Americas before the Chinese got here. So when they got to Haiti, they fought back. They got together with the native blacks and elevated their worship of their ancestors and worship of the biosphere, the sun, the earth, the spirits of the sun, the spirits of the earth, the entities that lived in different realms that they
like the Native Americans do.
That's right. And when you say Native American, you have to remember the original were black.
Yeah, I know. I have two grandmothers on both sides, Native Americans, and they're black.
Okay, because they were all black. Okay, and so when the Chinese had came before Columbus, and because the Eurasians are a warlike people and they like to create new histories, you have this idea that somehow all blacks were enslaved from Africa and that they were not already here. They were already here, and they were already built. They had already built pyramids, and they knew how to travel back and forth to Cyrus and other space in the biosphere where we come from. And a lot of them just left when they saw that this place had gone to the rats.
And then they used to just follow the trade winds from West Africa to the North and South America and just get in the wind and sail right on the Atlantic Ocean. Just follow the trade winds.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're in you're in the same direction as the wind is going to push you. You don't even have to do much, but just let it push you.
Yep. Yeah. So we don't need to prove that we are original to planet Earth. The more the European digs, the more he found us, and he can't figure out where he came from. So
that is true.
To bring us to today, the Black woman has to rise, period. And she is not a breeder only. She's a mother, a nurturer, a partner to Ogu. And I'm always looking for Ogu.
Yeah, Ogu don't play. He's not playing at all. Don't even ask for his help if you're not ready to slay the dragon. Don't even ask.
Don't even. Okay.
Him and Shango and Oya, those three, you're not ready for war. You're going to leave them where they at because you don't want to rise them up.
Yep. And a lot of our Negroes are not ready for war. And
I
so
know.
it's going to take a little more
Because
time.
the peace that the Bible keeps pushing, and you could be at peace and at war at the same time. It doesn't. It didn't stop Nanny Jamaica. It didn't stop Erzili. It didn't stop Nat Turner. They were peaceful people. Then Harriet Tubman peaceful too, but she didn't have a problem walking with her rifle. Didn't have a problem at all.
Well, my name is
Get
Èrzili
this
Dantò,
peace thing
and
mixed up.
I don't do peace. I don't do peace. I cannot at all reconcile with injustice at any level.
Exactly. That's why I don't see how Black people could be so just at ease with everything. And I say that's the slave syndrome. They're genetically sick. Genetically sick, and
They
they
are.
don't even know
That's
they're
what I
sick.
say. You know, you can't blame our people. A lot of them are genetically sick, and still carrying a lot of generational trauma.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly. And
as
then
I
they have
said, you know,
children, and the
yep,
children get it.
and they pass it on to those children. I watched it in the 90s. It was horrible. It was really, really horrible. As I said, I'm a performance poet.
Yeah, you're right. The 90s was really an eye opener. You're right. I
You
did
see?
experience a lot throughout the 90s. It was a lot of up and down, but when I reflect back, like when I was paying attention, yeah, that period, it did something. It just made the 80s and the 70s don't even matter anymore. The
That's
90s just took a whole new light of itself, and it just took things to the far left. You know what I mean? It just took things off track,
Yep.
in my opinion.
I mean, in the 90s was when, you know, Black males decided that it's okay to be infeminized, or
Yeah.
it's okay. So to bend for the Black male, for the white male is the trend now. And destroy the strong Black woman and the strong Black mother. I mean, when I was growing up, you know, the mother was revered in the Black community, and I saw how the music destroyed that. Like, you know, as I said, you know, hip hop, the rage of hip hop killed. Killed the Black woman, essentially.
The low vibratory hip hop music.
That's right. That's right. Now, that doesn't mean there weren't others. I was there fighting for something different. It's just that our voice was destroyed by like people like Dr. Dre, who was steadily beating up Michelet in a way that it makes Ike look like he was a choir boy.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, I mean, I saw it on, I didn't really watch it, but I saw the advertisement.
Yeah, to this day, that Negro is accepted by the Black community. Why? Because they tell you he's the billionaire of hip hop. So
and Tupac said he's gay. That's why they fell out.
Say again?
Tupac said that Dr. Dre is gay. I remember Tupac saying in the
yes, he did.
In the interview Tupac before, he said that Dr. Dre is gay and he got tired of smelling SHIT every time he comes into a studio or wherever they go meet up at. I guess they was just finishing doing their signing, and Tupac would come in and he's like, I'm getting tired of smelling. You know how he that. I'm getting tired of smelling butthole and blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah. And so these Negroes, I mean,
like it just rattled him up. It really rattled him up.
Yeah. And this is what they were pushing. And that's why the white man makes.
He said Puff Daddy is gay.
But as they did all that, yeah, I mean, look what Puff Daddy did to poor what's her name? Okay, Michelet in the West was getting pummeled by this effeminized Dr. Dre and his crap. And then in the East, you have Puff Daddy and his crew doing whatever they wanted to do to Mary J. Blige.
What?
right?
I'm thinking of another little girl that Puff was going with, and she said that he used to pass her around with all his, to have sex with all
That's
his
what
friends.
they
But
did.
Mary, I thought they were like,
That's what they did. That's what they did. That's what they did. So women were hoes to be passed around because most of these men were effeminized, bending over for the white man who was giving them a platform. And real black women like me, they couldn't take.
Right. Right. She's a black woman and she's speaking the truth. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
That's like a double insult.
Yes. And so I survive all that. And there are many of us that did and we have to look at those that did survive because I was there. There were groups like Salt and Pepper. I don't know if you remember S1Ws. Those were the days when there were black women groups and they were not
SW1.
Yes, they were not sexual objects. Okay? They were not like Cardi B and whatever the crap they have today.
Oh, please.
All right.
Just a waste of time.
They were sexual, but they were also powerful.
That's true. They had a message in their music. That is true.
You don't have so the 90s had all of that. They had to destroy all of that first. So they had to kind of like muzzle MC Light, muzzle. The only one that survived was, Queen Latifah, and that was she. She went into she went into whatever. She went into the music, the film industry.
Right, but, acting.
Yeah, but the women that were in that space, they were either passed around. Look at all of them. Faith Evans is very, very talented, but where did that go?
And she looked worn out right now.
Yeah,
wow, she looks super stressed.
Yeah. So all of this, I say this to reflect into who we are as a community, and to say that in my space as a lawyer representing black males who were being set up in the drug wars, I went through all of that, but I also saw it was black women prosecutors that they would put in front of me.
Really, like they're making you battle her. In a sense.
Yeah, listen, I battled the archetype of Kamala Harris my whole life.
I wish I was a fly on the wall in that courtroom. I'm sure there was some Zili fire up in there.
In New York, they had that girl, that lady, I don't know if you remember, Joy. Is that her name? She was on The View, the first black, the one that she had a closet of shoes, and she had
Star Jones?
Yeah, Star Jones. Okay. Those were the type of black women who elevated and gave platforms to. She was a prosecutor too.
Yeah, exactly. She was into law. Right.
You understand? So those were the ones that they would not elevate Èrzili Dantò because I did not represent the government in any ways. I fought the government. I wanted to get our people from the 60s who were put in jail released. And I kept asking the black community, how could you leave a warrior behind? To this day,
I don't understand.
But they did. They left.
Like, why is Assata still in Cuba? And every time a president sits in his seat, they always tell Cuba, release her, send her back over here. Where are we at? Why are we not stopping that?
Well, listen.
She's a freedom fighter. All the freedom fighters that's in jail, they just went to jail and everybody forgot about them.
They're now in wheelchairs. It is an indictment on the black community in America.
Shame on us, exactly.
Shame that Obama, ridiculous Negro, when he got in there, he
asked for her to come back too.
No, he didn't ask for her to come back. Obama
Yes,
Put a
he told
bounty.
her to give herself up.
He put a bounty on her head. Just
Right,
look it up right
exactly.
now. Obama put
Exactly.
a bounty on the head. He made her the most wanted FBI criminal. This woman is a grandmother, Assata Shakur.
Right.
Obama put a instead of saying come back home, he essentially put a you know whatever a bounty on her head. So any mercenary so now she's been in hiding since.
Right.
So and the Black community, you can't say anything negative about Obama. This is a man who used his platform to do everything but something good for the Black community. He was the reporter in chief. He was the he had his own kill list. He started more wars than any other president. All of that. And he did the worst thing he ever did, which was sign the NDAA, which allowed for anyone, they can name anyone enemy of the state, even an American citizen, and you could be arrested and never have a lawyer and go put into some gulag space in indefinite detention, and it'll be legal. That happened under Obama, not Trump. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if y'all, I have a Facebook page for those who want to check out some of the work, and it's called the Free Haiti Movement. If you go to the album section, I mean, there's a lot of people on there talking about all different things, but I put my work in the album section. And if you go to the very first one or two albums, it's called The Global War Against Black Women. And I have all the pictures, and I have a picture of Assata Shakur and what Obama did when he made her, I think he put $2 million on her head when he came into office. I have no idea why he would do that. And anyways, they were trying to get Cuba to return her. I have another album called The Global War Against Black Males. And it has all of the, awful killings of, like, Tammy Rice, all of that. I mean, we know that Zimmerman is still walking around. Black people talking about their I don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
But yeah, so
yeah, I see it too in bounty.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obama did that. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can. I never liked him anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why Cuba sent him on his way and sat him down. It's made him go sit down somewhere. You are not getting her, so stop trying. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Thank God. It's not going to happen. But if it was for him, they would have brought that man back and done to him what they're doing right now to Mumia, to Tupac's father, Matulu, to all of them. I mean, after 42 years, they finally let go of some of the Move 9. That's 40 years. They weren't even responsible for the killing of that police. It was friendly fire. It was police killing police. They spent 42 years in prison. And where was the Black community? Running around with Star Jones and her shoes and Mammy Oprah and her white women ridiculous stuff.
Is it too late to do something for Assata?
Oh my God. Well, it's never too late, but who are we going to get? I mean, the first Black president should have been the one that's, pardoned her.
Yeah, right,
right. Bounty on her.
Right. We need Congress on our side for that. Most definitely, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
you know, he was the one that should have, but we don't have the groundswell. Like I'm like the voice in the wind saying, Black people, what are you celebrating? You left all your warriors in jail. Or the one woman who survived and didn't spend 40 years in jail like the Move 9, which you didn't even dream about. You let them do that because you were listening to Negroes like oh my God, my name. Oh God, what's that guy that was with Martin Luther King when he died on the balustrade?
Messy Jesse.
Y'all listening to Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, and now ridiculous Mike Dyson and that crying Van Jones and a bunch of made beta ridiculous so-and-sos.
I thought Dyson was pretty cool. You know, I know him like that. I think when I did catch him on TV.
Oh my God. I'll give you an example of how cool he is not. Doing the Haiti earthquake. That was in 2010, and in 33 seconds. Some say it's because, you know, they're definitely trying to kill us. They've been trying to kill us.
Right.
It's either by vaccination, by femitizing the males, by demeaning the women, by putting them in jail, by dropping guns into our communities, by not investing in the schools, by giving us ridiculous lead water in Mississippi and Michigan, by giving us open sewers in Alabama. I mean, this is our situation. But in Haiti,
I know. And the Flint water in Michigan.
Yeah, the Flint water in Michigan. Okay, that's what they're doing, and we somehow, I don't know what planet we're on.
And Obama lied, talk about this glass is from Flint, Michigan, and I'm going to drink it so you'll know that the water is clean now. And then 2 weeks after he did that, I saw some articles floating around on social media saying that this woman and her family is getting a big lawsuit because they were drinking the water. This man is getting a lawsuit because his legs swell up with a whole bunch of sores and stuff on it. So I'm like, okay, so what was Obama drinking? Because these people are getting lawsuits for the water being dirty.
Yeah, and I mean it's a fact that
and they said that's a lie.
Was not.
That water is still dirty.
Yeah, it wasn't safe. It wasn't safe. Okay, so if he did that,
even right now, it's not.
Drink the water to show people it's okay to go drink it, and then they all dying from it. Why is everybody listening to them when they're talking about this vaccine? Because I'm sure Obama will put out his little shoulder, whatever, to get vaccinated on TV, like the rest of them.
Like the other Black elder did. I don't know why he did that.
Okay.
And he died. Okay. He died, Erzili. He died.
I know. Listen, okay, they're coming after me, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let you say that.
He did die.
Of course he died.
He was trying to show us that he was trying to show us that it was safe.
I know what you were trying to say. Okay, I'm just not gonna say his name. Because like I said,
I forgot his name too.
You know what I'm talking about. Baseball.
Yeah, that's our
funeral. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Look.
And he's not the only one that died. Some doctors died.
Yeah. I mean, the purpose of that is to change your DNA. And the reason they
want to laugh because he died.
Yeah, no. I mean, he was elderly too, and he probably had some pre-existing conditions, but it is what it is.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I urge all Black people to strengthen their immune system and go back to mama's medicine.
And that's the problem. They don't want to boost up their immune system. They don't want to eat the right things to keep themselves healthy. That's the problem. Because I be saying that all the time. Your immune system is weak. That's why you're getting sick.
That's right. So, I mean, just the information's out there, people. So help your immune system, exercise, try not to let the trauma get into your soul, and understand that you're not alone.
Right.
So yeah, during the earthquake on January 10th, 2010, at that point in time, Mr. Mike Dyson and his wife were playing to the Demon Rat
I
plantation.
didn't know he was married. Mm.
Yeah, you're talking about Mike Dyson, right? The guy who talks a lot.
Yeah. I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was
Yeah, his
married.
wife is a reverend.
Oh, that's why he talks like that. Yeah, he do talk churchy, like, you know. Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Eric Dyson. Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah, I know it with the glasses and he's heavy set. Yeah, I know.
I made the comment that you know, those are the types of so-called leaders we have. These are the educated so-called, you know, schooled Black folks who are all into the democratic plantation. Well, at that time, they were so beholden to the democratic plantation that they decided the wife was going to support one candidate and he would support the other candidate. At the end of the day, whoever won, you know, they so I believe one of them supported Obama during the election and the other one supported Mrs. Clinton. Yep. Mrs. Clinton, when Obama won, Mrs. Clinton, and I believe it was Dyson supported Obama and his wife supported Clinton. All I know is that when the earthquake happened in 2010, Marsha Dyson's wife.
That's her name, Marsha.
Marsha, yeah. Okay. Reverend Marsha. She got her reward by coming to Haiti with Mrs. Clinton.
Really?
Because Obama essentially got rid of his greatest political rivals in the Democratic Party by giving them Haiti. And so during the earthquake, Mrs. Clinton was Secretary of State, making policy in Haiti, and Mr. Clinton was given a position at the United Nations, which was occupying Haiti. The U.S., some say through HARP and other weather engineering mechanisms, created the earthquake. A lot of people point to the suspiciousness of that.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, a lot of people showed the suspiciousness of that earthquake, you know, just happening on one side of the island, and the other side, nothing happened to it.
Exactly, and it was supposed to be a level 8 earthquake, right?
Yeah, it was a level 7, and it happened in just one, you know, space, and it allowed for the Clintons to take over Haiti and raise something like $21 billion, and they left Haiti worse than it was before, except they left it with cholera, which Haiti did not have, but which the UN brought. That killed 30,000 people. The earthquake killed 316,000 in 33 seconds. That was under Obama.
That means Dominican Republic should have felt the shift.
Something, yeah.
It's not supposed to just be a 7 in one area. No, it's going to ripple. It's going to ripple out. The currents is going to ripple out. Yeah, we get more damage, but once it starts spreading out, that's going to, all those places that it's spreading out to, they're going to start feeling the earthquake as well. That's what happens in California all the time. Los Angeles could get an earthquake and they feel it all the way up in Sacramento. So I don't understand, you know, they said that they was doing some underground drilling around the coast of Haiti as well. And then all of a sudden, here comes the earthquake.
That's right.
So I think they was messing with the how can I put it?
Definitely, we won't know because obviously, you know, the Eurasians are not going to put it out. But yeah, I will say definitely that earthquake was suspicious, that the United States had built its largest embassy. It was drilling way down inside the core of going down, and within the coast of Haiti, there's a lot of oil right there, and they were doing offshore drilling for that oil that they're taking out surreptitiously without saying they're taking it out, and bringing it over to Guantanamo Bay and then taking it out, while they just left the people filled with all of these dead corpses. And then they send the humanitarian front to come in and do organ trafficking with the cholera deaths that the UN brought to us. Haiti did not have cholera. And so once the cholera, so they did the earthquake, and then they made Bill and Hillary Clinton control the earthquake funds from the UN, where they raised money, and where they went to the north of Haiti, where the gold belt is, to give, for instance, Hillary's brother was put on something called VCS Mining, which is a gold mining company, stuff like that. Bill Gates, people use that whole earthquake and the chaos to buy land, take land, and of course, the greatest era, or the greatest earthquake they left us, was a bisexual president by the name of Michel Martelly. And Michel Martelly and his perversions is what the people in Haiti right now. He did his 5 years under Clinton and Obama. And then he put in a successor against the people's wishes. And that successor, his name is the current president. His name is Jovenel Moïse. They say he's the boyfriend of Michel Martelly. And he just tried to make pedophilia legal for his European friends.
In Haiti?
In Haiti. He's trying to bring down the age of consent to 15. And I have to tell you, as a lawyer, I'm probably the only one, or not probably, I'm the first Haitian lawyer to ever get a pedophile who had been hurting Haitian boys in Haiti for 10 years in jail. His name is Douglas Perlitz. You guys can look it up. You can look up my on my website. It's something called Weaponized Charity. I have a transcript of the court sentencing statement that I made on behalf of the Haitian people, on behalf of the boys that were hurt, essentially, telling the judge, give this man the maximum. And the NGOs, the non-governmental organization, the charitable industrial complex, which is a $90 billion business, they go to Haiti, and then the extras that they get is, the pedophilia that's destroying the next generation of Black males, because that's who they are. That's what the Abrahamic religion is. I don't care what they tell you. The Romans did not wear those naked clothes because, it helped them in war.
Right. Right. Like who's wearing a skirt in war anyway?
Exactly. Okay. That's what they were doing. And that's what they are. And that's why they hate the Black woman, the heterosexual Black woman. And so we are almost a endangered.
Put this joker in jail.
Say again, girl.
And you put that joker in jail.
Oh yeah, Douglas Perlitz. Put him in jail for 20 years.
That's a white man, right?
Yeah, it's a white man. Yeah, and they called him a god, and his lawyer had the nerve to. I swear to you, just look it up. And his lawyer at the end, when he finally got caught and when he got sentenced, she got they used to write to me and say that we should accept being sodomized because they're giving food to the children.
Who said that?
What mother said that? That was the mindset of the Catholics who were defending this pedophile.
Because they don't sound like a real Haitian will play with their children.
No, but like I said, this is what
He better be glad he didn't.
Yeah, but this is what they are leaving in Haiti right now. And right now, the Clintons under Obama left a group of bisexual men as our president. And guess what? Their political party they call themselves? The Men in Pink. The Men in Pink.
What?
Look it up. That's who's running Haiti. And that
so they're trying to turn the masculine
Obama's legacy to Haiti.
Yeah, because him and the Clintons are like this. They appear not to be, friends. They appear to be rivals, but Obama and the Clintons is like this.
That's right.
That's right. They pretend in front of the TV that they're at war.
We have the Men in Pink running Haiti. In America, we have them, the Dr. Dre's. They're the ones that the society wants to be like. Or you go to any television show, you see Black women trying to, become exactly like the European amoral people. So Scandal is their show. Empire is their show.
Exactly. Like the lady who put the Gorilla Glue on her hair.
Yep. Okay. So this is the perversion that has come out of this generation, unfortunately, my generation. I just want to tell people that people like me and you exist, and we have fought this. And we are going to win because they have gone too far. Okay. The first thing that Biden just did when he came into office was allow transsexuals to compete against regular girls.
Exactly. So I said, for all the Biden voters, now you like who you voted into? Now you like it? You like what you voted in, right?
Okay.
Because that foolishness he's doing is ridiculous. And anybody in their right mind should be turned off from that. If they ever even thought about voting for Biden, they should be turned off from that. They shouldn't even want to see him no more. You have Roland Martin advertising, vote for Democrats.
Yeah. Those Negroes, ridiculous. Okay. I didn't even mention Roland Martin. But anyways.
I'm getting ready to unfollow him because he turns me off.
Yeah. Listen, okay. We all know that HBCUs were put together by the Southern plantation owners for their mixed children. Those Freda things you were talking about, the tragic mulatto.
Yes. They say they traumatized, but let me tell you something. They got the best of both worlds. Trust me, and they like it that way. They be on the white side of this, right?
They got their own problems, but I'm not letting that go right now. We're gonna have to go.
No, it ain't what we're talking about. It's not on the level of problem that we talking about. They'll get over their problem. They just gotta love themselves and decide who they want to be. That's their problem. They fighting internally with themselves.
Yeah, but I'm not going to like Dr. Henry Clark says, there's a mulatto factor. And they use that mulatto factor even in Haiti. Okay. So I know what it is. And we have to face all of this as the warriors that we are, as the ones that were entrusted to this planet, as the people of the sun, as Erzili's children and Aset's children, and Nzinga's children and Queen Nanny's children. We have Anakauna's children. We have to face all of this. And we're going, as far as I'm concerned, if Black people want to go ahead and live in Wakanda, they need to go to the Eurasian. But us, we ain't living in Wakanda. We're not going to live in a space where on the inside is gated wall with all of these wonderful technology and super richness, and on the outside is slavery. Not doing it.
Exactly. There's a place like that, but it ain't on this earth. It's outside of this earth.
We're not going to do that, okay? Because we understand that we are connected to everything and to the biosphere, and that, like Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere means injustice everywhere, and we are what our lowest common denominator has to suffer. And so that's why I ask not only Haitians, but all Black people, you know, there are folks in prison that shouldn't be dying in prison. Mumia, the Shakurs, there are our children, like this new generation with like Amanda Gorman. We do not want her to be another anything like another what was the one that Mr. Clinton used for his inauguration? We don't need another phenomenon.
Monica Lewinsky.
No. I'm saying that what is her name? Oh my God. Amanda Gorman is being used right now to be the face of the young Democrat. Right.
Exactly.
All right. What I'm saying is that,
and you know, every time you say Amanda Gordon, I'm thinking about Candace, that Candace girl. But I know who you talk about now. You know who the Candace girl. What's her name?
I don't even bother with Candace Owens.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Right. She's too far on. You can't help her.
I don't bother with them. Okay. She's like a Meghan Markle, right? The Windsors and that group of leeches are dying and they need the Black woman's womb, so they take a mixed woman.
Right.
Okay.
And she's married to a white guy.
Yeah, I just said that, right? And he's from England. Like I said, he reminds me of the Meghan Markle kind of thing.
I haven't even seen what he looked like. I gotta look him up. I'm not even, he's like into Candace like that.
Some baron and I don't know, from England. That's why he, like I said, he reminds me of Archie and Meghan Markle, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got
that looked like a mixed match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that's what they're selling everybody. Okay. If you look at a picture of a family, a standard family in America, you'll see a white woman, a Black male, and these mixed children. That's what they're selling, and that's what our gladiators did to us. The sports people who integrated after.
Yes.
That's what our hip hop people did to us. That's what
exactly
Jones people did to us. And I'm just saying that it is time for the Black woman to stand in her own beauty, and Black is beautiful. And our community cannot elevate itself economically if we are confused about our own identity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's what happened to her name is Tessica with the Gorilla Glue. She's fighting with an identity crisis. She don't like her hair, her natural hair. So, she's all weaved out, of course. And anything that looks straight to the European hairstyle, that makes them feel validated, that makes them feel good about themselves. Even when they took the Gorilla Glue off her hair, Zili, she still was talking about she had to go get her hair done.
I don't know this story at all.
This man took out your hair for free. $12,000 procedure he did for free, and the only thing you can say is I gotta get my hair done for Valentine's. I couldn't believe it.
Who is this person? Is this like a celebrity? What is her story?
No, she's a regular woman from Louisiana who got a spray hair gel. She was Russian, and she seen some Gorilla Glue spray, and she used the Gorilla Glue spray to lay her. You know how we used to gel our hair down back then, and maybe put a little wave on the side. That's what she did, and then she had a weave ponytail. And she was trying to wash it out, and she couldn't get it out because the Gorilla Glue had dried up and it stuck onto her scalp. So even if they wanted to cut it with some barber razors or whatever, it wouldn't cut. I guess her story went viral, of course, and the team that worked at the doctor's office saw the story and said, "Hey, you want to help her because she can't get the Gorilla Glue out of her hair. It's been there for like 6 weeks now." And he was like, "Okay, let me call the company, Gorilla Glue." So he calls Gorilla Glue and said, "Someone used your product and they put it in their hair and she can't get it out of her hair. Can you give me the ingredients that you use to take the glue off because you made an ingredient to make the glue. So there should be an ingredient to get the glue off just in case there's an emergency, like in her case. They said they didn't have one. So what he did, he studied the Gorilla Glue ingredients, and he came up with his own little chemistry. He's from Ghana, the chemist, but he lives in Los Angeles. And he came up with a solution, and he found a way to get the Gorilla Glue out her hair without her actually losing her hair. It took them 4 hours to take it out. He did a solution, olive oil, aloe vera, and some other stuff to get it out. And the first thing she wanted to know was, the first thing she said was, "Oh, I can't wait to get my hair done because I got a date for Valentine's Day." I know she was sedated, and sometimes you wake up out of the anesthesia and you kind of distorted, but I just feel like she has a hair crisis when she doesn't like nappy. We're talking about nappy is bad, black is bad, and everything, and she's suffering from that. That transatlantic traumatic slave trade syndrome. She's definitely bothered by it. That she wanted her hair so straight that she used Gorilla Glue to make it be straight. She didn't want no fizz, no nothing. She just wanted everything straight and flat. And she got what she wanted. And then she went on social media and talked about it, and everybody was like, "Why would you put glue on your hair? You should have knew better. And you're 40-something years old. You have 3 daughters, and you're a school teacher. You didn't know that?" So I understand what people are saying because it's true. How you didn't know not to put Gorilla in your hair? It says it on the thing. Do not get it on your skin. Your scalp is skin. It says that it's only good for wood, furniture. It tells you everything it's good for. And she ran out of her gel spray and saw the Gorilla Glue spray and grabbed that and started spraying and patting it down. And went on about her day, and went home and tried to get it out, and it wouldn't come out.
Okay, that doesn't.
And now she's mad.
Like she's stupid. It sounds like she got a retarded problem.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. She sounded like something's mentally wrong with her. It's beyond. It's beyond. It didn't say don't use it on your hair. It didn't have to say.
All right.
No,
really. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, no, she ain't a representative of.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Something.
And that's the syndrome that we're talking about. Right. She didn't like herself. She doesn't want to be black.
I wasn't sure because so I'm like, tell me the story. I have no idea about the Gorilla Glue. I thought maybe it was like some movie. I don't know. But anyways, just to finish the story.
No, this is real life. This is real life.
I don't even know. That is like the most bizarre. Talk about stupid. And she
utterly.
Put her name in. Put her picture next to that word in the dictionary. Really.
Thank you. And then it makes us look bad because they would think all black people think like that.
Well, anyways, I don't claim none of them. I only claim intelligent black people. I had no idea where that one came from. She definitely needs to educate
whatever
herself.
These black women do, it reflects on all black women,
Yeah, but we shouldn't have that sort of. I don't have that mentality. Okay, I
right.
I only deal with intelligent people.
That's right.
The ones that need a little help, I might give you a book.
Yeah.
And if you need medical help, I might give you a recommendation. But
right.
No. I mean, at the level that we're working at, we are looking for the smartest minds of our people, and we are a creative people. We are smart. We need to just get out of this paradigm. I don't think that it's going to happen through religion, the Abrahamic religion, or it's certainly not going to happen through this current culture that they've degraded and demeaned with these.
Yeah, the rap world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going to happen with that. Okay, so it's not that so-called culture. It's not, because I remember, like I said, when this I used to represent members of Public Enemy. I represented not the Flavor Flav or Chuck D, but Terminator X. Terminator X and another, yeah. And I just remember once they got rid of Professor Griff, and once the Black intellectuals let Clinton destroy Sister Soldier, we got a whole new thing. There was no more.
I miss her. Her so much.
There was just absolutely no more cultural dissent.
Yeah. It's true.
So we have that's the juncture that it happened when Black males and Black women let them destroy Sister Soldier, let Bill Clinton do it, and still, rock with him. And then, so that's where we are. That's why we are where we are. Where those that they elevate right now, they ain't no sister soldiers out here. They elevate stuff has to do with sexual liberation, not Black liberation.
Right, exactly. Everything is sexualized. Mm-hmm.
Everything is.
How big is the butt?
So
how big is the lips?
Yeah, that and I just remember being grown up when people were like, your body parts weren't the most important things, but right now that's what your body parts, that's it. It's your breast,
right.
It's your sexual organs. I mean, that's how people identify themselves now.
With an empty brain. All of that with an empty brain.
With an empty brain. Okay, hey, listen, okay? I've never been so insulted for the Black community in general. When I saw Biden when he tried to connect with the Black community by giving an interview to Cardi B, I was like, okay.
Who does she represent? The stripper world?
Who hate Haitians.
What?
Dominicans who hate Haitians, who are generational prostitutes. That's what she represents.
Oh, she's Dominican.
She's Dominican.
Oh, I thought she was Puerto Rican.
I don't know. Maybe she is. I look at her as like.
Probably is Dominican because they don't like Haitians. They keep forgetting that whole island was Haitian before it was
the Dominicans have been made into prostitutes for the northern tourists. And that's where that freedom comes along, right? They go Black males and white males and all the frat boys. They go to Brazil and Jamaica,
Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And they've made whores.
They love Brazil.
Yep, they made whores out of those women. This is the reason why I have to respect Castro, because when he came in, he's like, you cannot make our women prostitutes anymore for your gangsters and your presidents and your whatever. But now, what they did to Marilyn Monroe has become standard.
Yeah. She was definitely a threat. She was with two brothers, right? Wasn't she with two brothers?
Yeah. I mean, they used that woman and did all that to her and terrorized her.
That's why she killed herself. Yeah, that's why she killed
But that's what they have normalized now. That's what they have normalized now. Like, it's okay. It's normal because it's normal to have a escort, former stripper or whatever she was, as the, first lady.
Right.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Just to finish,
I know, right? We got some good conversation.
So you guys know what Èrzili Dantò is, okay? That's what I represent. I represent that Black power that we've kind of lost. I represent that Black is beautiful, that, the Dr. Dre's and the Black gladiator
Puff Daddies
have destroyed. I represent the warrior Nzinga, which is the line that Èrzili comes from in Haiti. I represent all those Black males that are dying in prison and being given GMO foods that make their breasts grow and give them hormones and make them think that humping somebody from the back is a good thing to do.
I know.
I represent a different world that somebody is trying to destroy. I represent the future of the Black children. I represent the like I said, when I was in Haiti, and Mrs. Marshall Dyson came along. She came along with Hillary and Bill Clinton. They brought along the Black intelligentsia. And that Black the intelligentsia were the integrated Negroes. They were the boulets. And they could care less that Bill and Hillary Clinton was destroying Haiti on behalf of their Clinton Foundation cohorts, which were doing pay-by-play, where, you know, they could do whatever they want with Haiti's society, Haiti's lands, Haiti's resources, as long as they paid the Clinton Foundation some money. And those Negroes never said a word about it. The Tysons never denounced the Clintons for what they did, and they knew what they were doing because I made sure I told them. And I remember, so when you tell me that, you know, these people are of consequence, I'm telling you they're not. I remember when I was a lawyer in the entertainment business, they were trying so hard to be thugs or friends with thugs. They wanted to be friends with Jay-Z and Puff Daddy and Dr. Dre because that gave them street credits. And that's the phony of Mike Dyson.
Exactly.
And listen, I can even go further. I remember being at a party and seeing Cornel West trying to dance like he was one of thug, like looking for that street cred. So they never used their intellectual ability to say to these Black males, no, this is our legacy as a people. We are the descendants of you know, Frederick Doug, forget about it. We are the descendants of Malcolm X. We are the descendants of Garvey. We are the descendant of Harriet Tubman. We do not live with injustice. We denounce it and fight it. Those guys that we call leaders, they lived with injustice. They got funded by injustice, and they stayed within it. I don't get funded by injustice. I had to fight the system in order to protect our children, like I told you, in IT. That's what I did. I tried to, during that whole era of hip hop, get those men not to be you know, this rampant misogynist. I tried to represent message music at that time.
So ratchet.
You know, pushing like those that were revolutionary. There was I don't know. There was a few. What's that guy that did oh my God. I can see his name. Oh my God. Arrested Development. I
loved them.
There were good ones, you know.
I used to love their music.
Yeah. So we did have all of those, you know. We had that. We had Arrested Development. We had KRS-One. We had, you know, even like, you know, Kool Moe Dee and you know, we had all of that. But
Rakim, exactly.
Rakim, and exactly, and Tupac. But then they
fresh.
Exactly. They killed off
Get fresh
the ones that shouldn't have been killed off. So what it is coming back, like I said, Guinea Posé. I think the new generation has to understand the failure of the 90s generation, and those intellectuals I'm talking to you about, like the Cornel West, Mike Dyson, their whole HBCU crap that they put together with the boulets and the integration of injustice and all of that. So we have to go forward with something different. And that something different is, you know, we have a culture that is connected to soul, that is connected to spirit. We are a spiritual people. We have to go back to that, but without the ridiculous church.
Exactly. The ridiculous church. That's exactly what it is, the ridiculous church.
So I urge all the people listening to me, the solutions are in your DNA. You are original to planet Earth. There's nothing like you. You are connected to imagination. If you can imagine it, you can create it. We need more producers, not consumers. We need people to produce and create. We need us to become self-reliant.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. You need to get rid of that. Hey, listen, okay, I'm not gonna say horsehair, but you don't have to follow Hollywood. You don't really have to follow Hollywood.
Exactly. Follow you.
Mm-hmm. You gotta follow you. Okay. And if you don't see you out, go look for you, because I promise you there are Èrzili Dantos out here.
That's right. We're just not looking in the right places.
You're not looking in the right places. You're not gonna find her in Kerry, Washington. You're not gonna find her, in Scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you will find her here with this sister, and Happy Media. You will find her with, I just, and that's where you will find her, and that's where you have to look.
And that is true. You're not going to find her in somebody else's image. You got to find her in your own image.
No. Go with your guts. You know that something is wrong. And I'm not saying that I want anything bad to happen to those other folks that make their identity their vagina or their penis. I'm just saying that is not what we are.
You're not going to get nowhere too far with that. That's going to burn out, and then you're going to be left embarrassed and trying to deal with your wicked past. All it's going to do is just torment you even more.
And white supremacy doesn't come after you because of who you're sleeping with. White supremacy comes after you because of what's in your DNA and who you are, that they are trying to destroy, like they destroy the Sphinx, like they destroy the history of Blacks in the Americas, like they've destroyed every progress we've ever made as a community, from Rosewood to the Black Wall Streets, like they do. And like they
How you know about Rosewood?
I know.
Not so many people know Rosewood.
Yeah, I know our history, and I issue from our history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know. I could tell you guys a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of you know that. We are connected. We are connected. We're connected to Africa. We're connected to North America. We're definitely connected to Haiti. We're connected to warrior people, and we're connected to the first people on planet Earth. In our DNA lies our freedom. During the Haitian Revolution, the reason why they were able to beat 3 European powers, and that's why I ask people, if you want to study what you can be, this is study the work of Èrzili Dantò, my work. You can find, like I said, Èrzili Dantò. I do 6 teach-ins. So go to my website. You can see some of those teach-ins. I do a teach-in on Bois Caïman in August, which is the Vodun ceremony that began the Haitian Revolution. I talk about how it began, who the people are, and all I've just said about Queen Nzinga, and then the template. The template was said in a language that I say all the time. It was Mabamba Kanga Mandele Kanga Bafioti Kanga Najoki Kangayo, and it means we have to stop the Mandele, which was the stranger. That's how they call the colonists and the white man, the stranger. So imagine.
Yeah, because he is strange.
Okay. So he was a stranger amongst us. And I mean, he's a stranger to this planet.
True.
Okay.
My daughter says the same thing. They came here and invaded this planet.
Yeah.
She believes this was an all Black planet, and they came here and invaded us.
because you can't find them anywhere. I mean, you can dig anywhere you want to dig. The oldest remains they can find are black people.
Exactly. Even if they find old remains in South America, in the Amazon, up in the Amazon rainforest, those Amazons say that they're from Africa. They got the lip plates.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got the ear plates.
Yep. So I mean,
in the Amazon rainforest, they say they're from Africa.
Yeah, we don't have to prove any of this. Okay, we are original to the planet. Wherever you dig, you're gonna find us. When the planet was one, we were all there. And then when there was some galactical war, it broke up the Pangea, and you have all these different planets. But we still understood that, like you were saying how when the trade winds and Africans were going back and forth from the Americas to Africa, we understood that was family. But when this Neanderthal came along, we call him the stranger. Okay.
Yes.
So the stranger amongst us, we have to stop him, and that was the cry at the beginning of the Haitian Revolution. And then they said we have to stop his black collaborators. We call that Bafioti. And then the last was we have to stop all his evil forces, because he comes with evil forces, and his evil forces are defined today as they were defined in 1791. So the cry was we have to stop the colonists, which is the stranger, his black collaborators, and their evil forces. That is the template for destroying white supremacy. And I say it all the time. His evil forces back in 1791, when Èrzili Dantò was had mounted the people there, and Ogu had come, the spirit of our creators had come. They essentially said that every level of human activity that the European or the Eurasian does is about domination. And so we have to understand that, just like Neil Fuller said, the 9 levels of activity. But it's, his evil forces, his military, his media, his economic system, his culture of profit over people, his religion, all of it is meant to destroy us. His medical ways, the antidote to that is our way. Our way is to put people before profit, the earth before resource plunder, the that's
right.
Children should not be sexualized and destroyed by grown-ass men and women. They're supposed to be protected and allowed to grow emotionally. There is,
and that's what's going on too. A lot of molestation is going on in the black families.
Exactly.
A lot.
Exactly. Because we have never faced where we came from with respect to the enslavement and how it used to be. And we have to face all of those things. And who's going to do it? Black woman's got to do it.
That's right.
Because the black man, as soon as he gets some money, he's going to find himself a white woman.
Tell me about it. Look what Roland Martin did.
Okay. Because when he don't have that money, you're the one he's going to be beaten up on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to prove his manhood.
Saying it's your fault why I can't.
Yep. But as soon as he's got that money, he's going to find himself a Freda, a Cardi B, what's the name of the one that, oh my God, Kobe got? Yeah, they're going to find himself one of those.
Oh yeah, I forgot her name. Yeah.
I
forgot her name.
So, and then he's going to throw away his mother, his black mother, and her advice. She barely got to go to the funeral. That's who they are.
Exactly.
That's why. And this is not new, people.
Look at the Kardashian. What's her name? Chloe was going with the basketball player. What's his name? Don something.
Yeah. Okay, but
she said he was on drugs. She claimed he was on drugs, but I feel like the drugs didn't start until he started being with her. But that's my opinion. I don't know. Maybe he was on drugs. I don't know.
It doesn't matter, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those
He was fine until I seen them together. I know that.
Everyone can see that these are pretend Black women. And the only reason
Right.
they get what they get in the universe is because they are the Black male's idea of what the Black woman should be. And so if that's what they want, if the Kardashians are what they want, then that's what they should get. Go, you know that movie, Get Out? They need to stay over there. And me, I'm gonna
and I believe that movie is real too. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they need to
real.
stay with those witches, and we need to construct a community with Ogu. Now, let me tell you guys about Ogu. Ogu is the warrior Black male. He is the father. He is the protector. He is the nurturer. He is the husband of Erzili Danto. He is the partner. In Haiti, during our Haitian Revolution, the warrior that became the personification of Ogu, his name is Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And I urge all Black males listening to me, especially young ones, to go study Jean-Jacques Dessalines. You know, he's our Malcolm X. But he actually he was able to do something that no other Black man has ever been able to do in world history. Like I said, it was to throw away the chains of the European and create a nation. Now, how were they able to do that? They understood that there was an army within them. And as spiritual people, they understood and were able to quicken themselves with the rituals that they had learned from their ancestors and align the biosphere so that in August, we are an astrological people. The way of creation and manifestation is a pattern that the greatest of metaphysicians understand. Well, we were the greatest of metaphysicians, and they understood the pattern. Within us is something called melanin. Some say it's the God particle within us. We have our pineal gland connected. And once it's connected to your biosphere, you can call forth the army that's within you from the beginning of time. And that's what the Haitians were able to do. It was evident.
It's like they stepped out of ordinary time and slipped through the curtain to be outside of our time frame.
That's right. Okay. So their song, for instance, so here's the enemy that they faced. First, it was the French army, and they destroyed the French army. Then it was the Spanish army, and they destroyed the Spanish army. Then the British came with 50,000 soldiers and tons of ammunitions and cannons, and they destroyed them. And then Napoleon and Armada, he put 20,000 soldiers in New Orleans, and he sent 30,000 to Haiti. We destroyed them. And so the reason America exists today is that 20,000 soldiers that were in Louisiana were forced to come and fight the Haitians because they were going to take over America with those armies after they finished kicking the butt of the Haitians. But they had to get reinforcement. Okay. And so how did we able to do it? Because we were outnumbered. There was only beginning of the Haitian Revolution, there was only 500,000 Black people in that space. By the end of that 13-year war, half the population had been killed. But how were they able to, barefoot, without arms, without any sort of education in terms of understanding the technology of the age that they were in? How did they beat these people? Like I said, they went inside and connected with the biosphere. They understood, for instance, our greatest power as people of the sun is when the sun is at its highest height, which was August.
Right, that's the hottest month of the year. Exactly.
Okay, so they understood that would quicken their pineal gland, that would quicken the immunity system of the melanin that's within all of their bodies. They understood biology, chemistry, astronomy, physics, all of it. And so they were able to transmute. The reason Ogu is the god of war is that he can melt steel.
Iron and steel. Okay, yes.
So you can look at all their.
But that's what happened.
That's what happened.
He was melting the steels of the bullets and the guns that the English had.
That's right. Because their song was "Bullets Are Dust," and because they were quick,
they said that
bullets are dust.
Bullets coming, and they didn't know where they were coming from.
Yep. So they were able to do that, and also they were able to move very, very, very heavy objects. The way the ancients created the pyramids, they were able to move very object with their mind, and that's
like
how
telekinesis.
Yes, that's how they got rid of those cannons. And so, my people, we got to get back there. Go back inside.
I love talking about the whole Haitian Revolution. It just boosts me up. It fills my cup up.
It's not mythology. It's not a Hollywood movie.
Exactly. That's what it is, because it's so real. And that's why I get that, that energy boost. Like, this is not something that we read a storybook, a fairy tale, or a movie that they made. No. This is some real life events. You know what I'm saying?
We went back to source. We were not helpless just because we had no steel in our hands. You can melt it with your mind. You can travel dimensions. There's a great Haitian saying, like, all of a sudden the European would be like, they'll be facing a group of Haitians, and then out of the blue, behind them, there was another group.
Right. Out of nowhere.
And the legend is that the armies of the ancestors did come down to help us, and then they left, because there's a lot of Haitian songs essentially saying that they walked right into the water and were gone.
I have chills that you said that. Wow. So it probably was a portal through the water.
That's right.
From this world to their world.
That's right.
The water probably was, not probably, the water is the portal.
Okay, so we
Haiti is a vortex. Haiti is definitely sitting on a vortex. The amount of energy that flows through Haiti I can't even explain it, but I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. It's just unexplainable. It's unexplainable.
So that's why they have to effeminize our men, give us the men in pink, destroy Erzili, and that's what the Catholic Church are, a bunch of pedophiles.
Right.
Right?
I know.
And they've created that in the U.S. military. I mean, without the drones, them people, what can they do? I mean, they're destroying and eating their own. When you look at the American police, these are blue collar folks that probably barely got through high school. And they ended up in the army, and then they filled them up with drugs and testosterone.
Exactly. They just got through high school. Exactly.
So all they
anybody
have,
could be
that's what they have. They're in drugs, and then they give them a gun, and they give them a quota of, going into the Black community and making their quota. But even them, they're realizing that this is not the way to live.
Right.
Because even though they are our guards, that makes them prisoners too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think even white folks are tired of these oligarchs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why they fight each other in the White House. All that the nonsense that went on in the White House a few weeks ago. That's white against white. That had nothing to do with us.
Exactly. It had nothing to do with us. And they're gonna have their fight. But we gotta take care of our own business, our own people.
Exactly.
So I hope I think we've been here long enough. It's Friday.
I know, right? We're supposed to have been an hour, went into 2 hours.
So I think that we have to marginalize the so-called Black leadership, and I name them. Okay, I talk about Eric Dyson.
Yeah, I know.
Roland Martin.
I believe it, though. I believe everything you said. I believe it.
This man, like I said, his wife went to Haiti.
And you told him and his wife.
Of course, we told him that
and he didn't say nothing. Oh my!
No,
he better never be.
They never brought the Haitian story to Black Americans.
And I want to know why.
They made as if what the Clintons were doing in Haiti was kosher.
That's why Omar be on him. And he acts so oblivious. I don't know what he's talking about me.
Yeah. Okay. And they even, went as far as trying to get her elected in 2016. And I was there to say no. Hell to the no. I remember this, okay, and I don't really care and I love my Black community, but I'm not going to take simple-mindedness. I remember saying
that's right. It's not that serious.
Yeah, after all that the Clintons have done to you, if you put a vote in for these people, then you deserve all you got. But
Thank you. You deserve the transvestites going into the same bathroom. You deserve all that you get.
Yes. You deserve the wars. She was gonna take that phone call at 3 a.m. in the morning. You deserve all that. Okay, because look what they did in the 90s, right? To you, to Sister Soldier, to the crime bill, the black males.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not going to fight back. You're not going to say we deserve better. And then when they decided to bring back adult, when Mrs. Clinton was running for office, I said I don't care who. We did try a little bit to talk to Bernie Sanders, but that guy was denuded, castrated.
Well, he's cuckoo.
Okay, he was just a castrated white male. I mean, he never even stood up to Hillary Clinton.
I know.
But so I was like, okay, I don't care who gets into the president, because if there's a dog there, y'all should vote for the dog first.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I promise you, in the last 5 years, it's been kind of amusing watching Trump.
Exactly.
I was totally.
He just tells on himself all the time. Poor thing.
Okay, because he showed everything I had been saying about white people.
Anyway, exactly.
Okay, exactly. But even better than that, it was the first time that I heard openly people talking about white supremacy. They used to tell me that I was crazy.
And that racism don't exist anymore.
Especially under Obama.
We have fears. Exactly. We had a black president. Black people are in high places.
Okay. So for me, they think they can bring us another Clinton, another Biden. And I am ashamed of black people who let this thing happen. Instead of pushing the division and trying to have an alliance with the white people that are tired of profit over people and sending their young men to go help Israel in the Middle East when getting nothing out of it, and go into these wars and have to deal with the sexual rapes of the military, instead of making an alliance and getting and starting a whole new culture, a whole new nation. Well, we went right back to the demon rats.
Exactly.
So I say, I'm not part of that. I do neither demon rat nor Republican.
That's right. I'm with you.
I am about people before profit. The world is abundant. We can create and we can have a new world where all of us live together. Okay. I think if anybody wants to be in Wakanda, they need to go back to Eurasia and leave the global South for us.
Exactly.
Anyways, my girl, I don't know. Are we done? Should we? Is there something I can tie up?
Because I just forgot to tell me about. We forgot to talk about jazz. Jazz poetry. We forgot to talk about jazz poetry.
All right. So
because I write poetry. So when I saw jazz poetry, I'm like, I gotta find. Yeah, I love poetry. I'll send you some of my poetry.
Why don't you give me a little bit of it? Let's see. Some jazzoetry.
Oh, well, not off my head. I don't have it off my head, Zili. I have them written down. I would have to go get my notes real quick. I can go get it real quick. Or we can save it for next time.
All right, for next time. So, we all issue into the world with something we can do. And, it just so happened that that's what I did. I have a piece called Red, Black, and Moonlight. Everything I do is connected to what I've lived. And because, like I told you, in my era, the women that I was looking for were all being destroyed, or they were being, turned into trophy wives and stuff like that. So I had to write what I was and then perform it so I could validate me, because like the sun, I had to witness to myself. And that's what my poetry about. It's Red, Black, and Moonlight is.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Red, Black, and Moonlight. And it connects to everything I am. It's what the ancestors gave me to issue forth, right?
Right.
And it all connects, like all those textures connects to something in my life that I had to face at a particular point. Like I was born in Haiti, the first Black nation. After the European Holocaust has started, after the Mahafa has started, and that's, Black as the firmament from which creation sprung, Black as, the center of the sun. And so those textures came to me, and I'm motivated by the soul of art. In IT, the drums was a way of communicating. So rhythm is a way of me communicating.
Biorhythm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so the New Orleans, which is where jazz was birthed, came out of the legacy of Haiti, of Haiti. Mm-hmm. So it's just natural within me that when I had trauma, like most Black people, we are artistic. When I have trauma, and what Black is to me is not what Black is out in the world. And I had to put
Make that known.
Okay. And then to do that, the best way for me, anyways, the way it came out was jazz. And when I say jazz, it's like I wrote something. I never really thought of myself as a poet because, I'm not trained like all that. But I
Right.
wrote the
In your
texture.
own right.
Yeah, I wrote the textures of feel of what Black was to me. And then the music came out of that. And then that music, I went on stage and I played the drums, and then I had the keyboard and the saxophone, and every night
Wow, that was beautiful.
it just came out differently. Like every night I was feeling something different. So the same
Right.
words
Same thing, different way.
just came out differently. And so that's how I created the Jazzoetry, Red, Black, and Moonlight.
Okay.
And it was
Are you going to start that back up again or something?
Like
a Jazzoetry night or something? Let me know, please.
I want to, but there came a point in time, like I told you, when our culture went left.
I know it. So people wasn't interested in the jazz and poetry.
I don't know if you remember, but back in the day in New York, there was something called the New York Cafe, where you could go and just express that, and then have music behind you, and then that's where that and then that ridiculous what's his name, the guy, the other hip hop guy, Russell Simmons. Like they took those things and destroyed them. But there was a point.
Demonized it.
Yeah, Russell Simmons. Yeah, and just commercialized it and made it all sound the same. And people like me and my work, I'm in terms of artists, like my God is Nina Simone. And
I love her too.
And so because I'm into message, she's into making her work count for something, like Mississippi Goddamn, she's into that. She's into expressing the current situation of our lives. And that's what Red, Black, and Moonlight did for me. There was a point in time when it looked like there might be a space for me in our culture. I don't know if you remember when Love Jones came out. Remember that?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, the movie. And remember the scenario of the in the club of the spoken word. Those were the types of things I was doing to music, and I had a one woman show that I traveled
like a dub poet.
Yes,
and
like so that's why.
Poet.
Yeah, except I was doing it, like I said, like I had musicians, because I was a dancer first. I had musicians that would play the drums, and then every dance movement would be accented. Excuse me. The drums would accent my movement, right? And that's how it started.
So
right?
Like this, the drum is like,
and then you would stop, or you would do something sharp with your movement, right? Well, then when it became words, it was exactly like that too.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I created it. It just went with my soul. But there came a point in time in Haiti when I was doing both, because I had to, have a plantation job to make a living. That as a lawyer, I was representing the first democratically elected president of Haiti. And although there were a lot of Hollywood people interested in my work, but they wanted me to come and do, their scripts, not Red, Black, and Moonlight.
They wanted to take your thing and rewrite it for you.
Yeah, they wanted me to come in and do their stuff, And at that point in time, I wasn't going to do that. I've never had the desire, for people to like me or any of that. When I did Red, Black, and Moonlight, and that, it was to go through a situation and express myself.
Right.
And
it was bigger than the Hollywood that they're trying to
make it wasn't about this commercialized, I mean, I don't know, it just wasn't that. I was trying to find like a handle to red, black, and moonlight. And to this day, it took me my whole life to get there. Now I can look back and give you what it was that spirit was trying to tell me, but I had to walk through it. So along the way, I became a historian of Black history. Along the way, I became knowledgeable of Èrzili Dantò, the warrior mother. Along the way, I learned to understand light. I never understood why the moonlight kept just calling me. Like every time there was a full moon, I would invariably have to go outside. And
that's my planet, the moon. My
tell me
birth
about
sign,
it.
Cancer.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Yeah, you know, I'm born July 7th. So anybody that's born in the Cancer realms, the moon is a planet.
Okay.
You know, so every sign has a planet assigned to them, like Aries and Scorpio is Mars, Taurus is Venus.
What's Leo?
You know, like that.
What planet is connected
to
Leo?
Leo is the sun.
Well, that's what I am.
Leo's the center of it all.
And
wow, I love Leos for real. That's my number. Now I got it. Okay.
My father
Yeah,
used you were born, you know, in August. So you are there for the revolution. But for some reason, it wasn't the sun that called me. It was the moon. And
okay.
And
well, you know, the moon and the sun is together anyway. They work together.
The moon is the light of the sun.
If it wasn't the sun, it was the moon. One of them was going to pull you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let's see, the moon is the sun because the light of the moon is tomorrow's sunlight.
That's right. That's what makes the moon light up. The sun.
It took me a lifetime to connect that. Because I was like, why is the sun calling? Why is the moon calling me? Where's the moon calling me? And there's no. It's the sun. It's the light of the sun. That's what the moonlight is. But it took me
and because the moon is feminine, you're feminine. Yes.
Who knew?
Yes.
Okay? And it you know that light, that night light.
Èrzili knew.
Yes, but I didn't know. But I would have these things on stage, you know, on stage, I would become something different. And I would say things that I'd have to record it to go back and look at because a different consciousness would come on. So you're like, I know that was me. That was me. Exactly. So I know about us from having gone through it.
Right.
You know, and that's my story with.
And you rule from your heart. You rule your heart. Your heart is Leo. The heart rule. They express with their heart. They wear their sleeve, their heart on their sleeve. Whatever they do it from the heart. Like they heartical people. So,
girl, you're gonna have to do a reading for me.
Oh, my daughter is the reader. Oh my gosh, my daughter is.
Really?
Yeah. Let me know if you want to.
I'm serious. Okay, because I'm.
Me too.
Okay, then let's do it. I need a reading, like very, very, because let's come to right now. So right now.
Okay.
Okay. So you got Red, Black, and Moonlight. Those of you who want to see some of it, you can go to my YouTube channel and go down to the poetry section. You'll see Red, Black, and Moonlight. Like I said, I started life as a.
Oh, I could have played it right here.
Yeah, you could play it. It's there. And then if you want to see the text of some of the Red, Black, and Moonlight, there are 3 90-minute Red, Black, and Moonlight shows. I found more audience overseas than I did in my own kind of country. It's like
of course you did.
You know,
they appreciate our culture.
That's right. They appreciate our culture. You know, it's not all about, you know, your gender and your vagina, whatever. They, you know, when you come and give them that spirit, you give them
appreciate real performance.
Yeah. My people, they were just, you know, about, you know, hoes.
They're jealous.
And it was hard. It was hard. It still is hard. You know, I'm sure that if if Nina Simone came along, you know, they would like backhand her right now. That's how it is. That's how it is. We've gone down.
Yeah, I know. I got
culture.
Yeah, we did.
So that's, you know, that's why. But like I said, everything I've done as a lawyer will at one point or the other end up on stage. So
exactly.
Okay. And I tell everybody who try to get on my nerves, okay, that all my drama is on stage.
Oh, that'd be that Leo coming out you then, huh?
All right, don't bring me drama because I do it on stage, okay? And if you're gonna bring it to me, you know, don't be surprised if it ends up on stage.
Exactly. Don't be surprised if you see you on stage.
Yeah, because I will play you, believe you me. So
you're gonna get that stress over you.
And that's what we are. But I'm not saying that it's easy, okay? I mean, you know, I've had to take plantation jobs along to being that maroon. Okay, I've had to gone down and do some plantation job at some point just to maintain and keep doing the work that I do for the Free Haiti movement, for my Jazzoetry stuff. So yeah, that's what it is. You can find Red, Black, and Moonlight on my YouTube channel. You can find some snippets. I have, you know, like I said, 10 years on tour, but I haven't had the chance to put like a whole show on there. Wow. And I want to do it, but I want to do it on Patreon because I've already, you know, I got to live somehow. So go to Patreon and ask me for a Red, Black, and Moonlight show. And yeah, you know, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll go to your Patreon so I can support it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please, okay? Because it's ridiculous. I think I
will.
So that's the first one. Please go to Patreon, Èrzili Dantò. I'm trying to write the story of the women warriors of the Haitian Revolution. I'm trying to explain to women what the moon is and how that connection to the sun. But it took, like I said, it took me a long time to understand it. And why right now?
So another thing. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to.
Another thing.
Another deep thing about the moon is, you know, generally women live longer because of her connection to the moon. So we go through 7 solar cycles through our life, and in the women, and we go through 1,008 moon cycles. 1,008 is, yeah. So you go through more moon cycles than you do sun cycles. And once you complete those 7 sun cycles and those 1,008 moon cycles, you basically have your biological body has basically completed its cycle here on this earth. And at that time, you should be about 83, 84 years old. You pass 83, 84 years old, you don't need to come back and reincarnate because you have passed that age where you don't need to come back and do it again and fix it again. And then you're definitely disconnected from the earth. So anybody that lives past 83 to 84 years old, they don't have to worry about coming back here and being reincarnated because they have completed their sun cycles.
Not trying to come back to this place at all.
So you complete your sun cycles, you complete your moon cycles, and you could be a murderer. If you live past 83, 84, you won't have to come back. Now, where you going to go when you leave here? That's between you and
explain that to me. I want to understand that. I do. I want to really, really understand that. And I also need like a real person to do a reading because I can't reflect on myself and do that. But coming back to right now.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Right.
You know, because you sometimes you just can't you can't see for yourself because you're too close to it.
It's like a doctor pulling his teeth out. Like, why would he pull his teeth out? He should just go to another dentist, even though he's a dentist. But a dentist goes to the dentist. The GYN will go to another GYN. You don't see a GYN trying to do an examination
All
on
right.
herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to take you up on this. Okay. I need, whoever, you or your daughter, somebody's got to do me a reading and some directions, because there's something major happening to my,
I know.
to all of us, to the biosphere.
The shift is coming in.
There's a big shift, and I feel it. Oh my God, I feel it. And
I go to the point where sometimes you're not even hungry, right? Sometimes you don't have an appetite, right? Or you'll start eating, and right in the middle of you eating, your stomach shuts down, and you don't want to eat the food anymore.
Oh my God, that happened to me today. We have to talk. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me go through this. I think I've already told you guys the thing. I think I finished the story of Dyson, how they were in Haiti, but they never told the American public about what the Clintons were doing, the death that they had brought in, the pedophilia, all of that. I think I told you guys about.
Oh my gosh, I get so angry. You make me want to curse you now. And I don't even curse like that.
I told you guys about a little bit about Vodun. I told you about Jazzoetry, Red, Black, and Moonlight. You guys know I talk a little bit about entertainment attorney and how I fit into our culture in that space. I told you about the Free Haiti movement, and so now, what I think that's I think
it, right?
Yeah. So I'm really interested in this Moonlight and the soul.
I know.
I am.
You want me to send you the documentary?
I do. I am. Oh, please do. Anything connected.
Because when he's explaining it better than me, but you're going to be blown away. You're going to be like, wow, it makes so much sense.
Okay, then please.
You'll see. I don't even want to say no more. You'll see. You'll see.
Send it to me. Okay, because when I first went back to IT, something fell in my body. It was like I was at that time like a lawyer. I was having problems with the entertainment community because I wasn't one of those women that these men could
take down.
Yeah. I wasn't doing it.
You was a lioness on them. That's what happened.
And I've, always,
it
was really hard because I've always been sort of a nurturer, so I was trying to find the ones, because I know there are important Black male energy out here. I was trying to find those and push those, be behind those.
Exactly.
And I have to say there are some. I mean, I grew up and professionally with a few that are still here. Right. But the greater portion that became the culture icons were the ones that denigrated women and sold out to the system. So I say to younger Black males that you are ogu, that you can male steal, that one of the most important things spiritually that has to be done in America, I always say it, I want people to hear me. I know this, even though it's a spiritual message, that there is a block in America with regards to males, Black males. And it started in Louisiana, and it's in that big prison because they went from plantation to Angola. So Angola is a prison system in Louisiana. And it used to be a plantation.
And then you have Angola, South Africa.
That's right. We have to make Angola in America what it originally was to Black people, not what it has become.
That is true, because in Louisiana, New Orleans, they have a place called Congo Square.
That's right. Remember, I
guess
told
that's
you.
where.
That's right. The Congos. Okay, that's where all that connection
Mm-hmm.
comes from, right?
Yes.
And
And there's a lot of Haitians in
lot.
Louisiana, New Orleans.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Because I was talking to a Haitian
something there.
security guard.
That's right. There's something there spiritually that has to be broken. Once it's broken, Black males will be free. Right now, for some reason, they are bound.
It put a spell on them to bind them up.
They have been binded.
It put a spell on them to
One
of the sellout root doctors. I don't like to use that word root doctor, but whatever.
Yeah.
One of the sellout root doctors gave the recipe away. And that's how the Europeans were able to hold down the Black man.
Okay, they are bounded, but but because I'm saying this right now, I know that bind is coming to an end.
It's coming up, exactly. It's loosening up. Mm-hmm.
It's loosening up, and it's loosening. That's the only reason my energy could connect there. And I spent it. That's the only reason, okay? And we are going to melt those prison bars. And although I know there's a lot of trauma in that space,
of course it is.
There is a lot of trauma and there's a lot of perversion, but within that space, there is Ogu also.
That's right.
And because it's not going to be top up, it's going to be bottom up. The next revolution,
right.
The revolution that's
exactly.
Here.
The last is going to be first.
It's going to be exactly. It's going to be at the worst place where Black males are, and that's Angola prison.
I'm thinking upstate New York has the worst prisons.
Nope.
Or in the Midwest.
I mean Rikers Island is bad too, but Angola prison is where they have. It's like, just look it up. It's like a whole city. It's not like this is how the white male makes their money. They have been for generation after generation the guards of these Black males and living off of our pain. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to try to stop the whole thing with a manifestation.
Okay.
I want that manifestation for, well, first of all, women, you are going to be the changers of the universe. Connections to the moon is connection to your biorhythm. All that fluid in your body moves with the light of the moon and the phases of the moon. If you picture that and you picture the rhythm of the universe, because there's a rhythm in the earth. There's a rhythm in starlight, and you all know you are part of the stardust.
Right.
So I think I have spoken to women just my whole entire presentation here, but I want to leave speaking to Ogu.
That's right.
You know, when the Black mother can't be a Black mother until we have a Black male that's going to be out here protecting our children, not letting these perverts take our black male child and crucify him in a cross, because that's what Christianity did. They took the child, crucified him. They took the Black child, crucified him, destroyed the mother. You know, so, but we have Jean-Jacques Dessalines. He is the template for us right now. And Jean-Jacques Dessalines was able to, you know, he was able to melt all of their tools and weapons. And black males, you can do that. You can melt all their tools and weapons against you and yours, against your woman, your child, and your ability to be self-sufficient, because that's what they take away from the black male, his ability, and the black woman to be self-sufficient. You are
right, to provide for self.
to provide for self. Okay. And that's where they lose you, by making you think you don't have the ability to provide for self. And so tomorrow, understand that inside of you, all that you want and need is already there. You must be one pointed. That's really what the pineal gland is about. It's about that all seeing one eye. So no matter what is going on with you today, don't look left, don't look right. Look in the, with that one eye, the one you see everywhere. That's really the way of manifestation. The way of manifestation is that you never, ever look at your fall. Just look at the vision of your highest good and stay one pointed.
Yes.
I've been one pointed my whole entire life. And I know that Guinea Posé, that Ogu is rising.
Z. Yes. Z.
Some people say Ashe, I say Guinea Posé. Okay, it's all done already. So just walk into it.
Okay, just embrace it. Yeah.
Just embrace it. And no matter what what do you call that? The graven images in front of you. Don't see them. See only your good. You got to take action. You can't sit in prayer and affirmation. Take movement is success.
Right. Exactly. Because even the Bible speaks about prayer without works is death.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
Pray, but there's no action.
That's right. That's right. All right. Listen. Okay. Call me about that reading. Love it.
Okay.
Looking forward
Tomorrow's
to
a
it.
good time.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime for you, my sister. All
right.
Then.
I love you, Erzili.
I love you too.
Thank you so much, my beautiful sister.
You're most
I'm
welcome.
so gratified that I got you on. I'm so happy.
All right. Send me a link so I can check it out. Okay.
Okay, I will.
Most All definitely. Right. Be well.
And
Bye-bye,
have a good
everybody.
Night. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.